impacted over 10,000 plus students' lives in last 5 years, focusing on their vision to add value to upskill India. About the webinar. Welcome, ma'am, once again, and thank you for
Thank you so
being
much.
here. Thank you, ma'am. About the webinar would cover topics, 5 finance and accounting courses, chartered accountancy, Association of Chartered Certified Accountants, chartered financial analysts, certified management accountant, actuarial science. Topics to be covered: a brief introduction on all the programs, the academic course structures, career opportunities and scope, major difference between the programs, fee structure and duration. I would now request Principal Ma'am to please address the participants. Ma'am?
Yeah, namaste and good afternoon to everyone. A warm welcome and
Good afternoon.
gratitude to Miss Mehreen Vora. It's a pleasure
Thank
to
you.
have you. Thank you very much to you and to Zell Education for agreeing to conduct this session for our students. I'm looking forward to questions and active involvement of our children in this entire session. So, all the best to all of you. And please take over from here, Miss Mehreen. Thank you,
Thank
Sherid.
you so much. Okay, to begin with, thank you so much, ma'am, for giving this opportunity to us as an institute to come and talk to your school children. It is a great opportunity for me as well to interact with these students and get to know them better and understand what they're expecting from the outside world. And thank you so much, Cheryl, ma'am, for such a nice introduction. Uh, and namaste to all the students here. A very good afternoon. And yeah, I hope that all of y'all are able to see my screen.
Yes, ma'am. We can see
Yeah,
your screen.
okay, great. So to begin with, I'll be first starting with my introduction once again to you guys. Okay, and my name is Mehreen Vora. Basically, I'm a head counselor at Zell Education. I love talking to students. My job is to talk to students, to talk to candidates who are in their colleges and who are out in their professional lives, to understand what they want and to offer them what the professional qualifications are there out there. Okay, and I am so glad that I get this opportunity today to talk to you guys, to uh, understand what you guys need and to help out with the details and the facts of one of the most well known and recognized finance and accounts courses. Okay, so I would really want to make this session an interactive one where I would want students to ask whatever questions comes to your mind while I'm, explaining any of the qualifications. You can feel free to write it in the chat, or you can also unmute yourself and, ask me when we are open to taking questions. But before that, I would just like to get to know the audience first. So if you guys can, one by one, just help me with your name and, which grade do you guys belong to? Can we do that? Cheryl ma'am, can the
Yes, ma'am.
students introduce?
Yes, ma'am. Sure. They will speak. They will unmute and speak, definitely.
Miss
Right.
Vora,
Students?
I feel there are 50 plus participants, and probably
Oh,
a lot of time would go in their
in the
names and details.
introduction.
Just for your basic information, I would like you to know that we have students from 7th to 10th grade.
Okay. Okay. No issue. So I think, yes, I couldn't see the participants. So that would take a lot of time. So what we can do is we can proceed with further questions that I have for you guys before we actually start with the session. Okay. So just to understand what do you guys have in mind when you hear the word finance and accounting? Anyone, it shouldn't be a literal definition that I want, just a basic understanding of what you feel is finance and accounting separately, both the things. Anyone would feel like you can feel free to unmute yourself and answer. I'll just wait a little longer. Anyone would want to tell me what do they understand by finance and accounting?
Ma'am, we have some responses in the chat box. Vice Principal Ma'am says numbers, and Principal Ma'am says money management. We have the participants responding. They say balancing, business, bookkeeping records.
Okay, so I think yes, whatever answers we've got are, almost right. So actually, Sharon, the problem is now when I'm sharing my screen, I'm only able to see my screen and I'm not able to see the chat box.
No problem. I will help you out, ma'am. Not an issue.
Yeah, ma'am?
I will read
Okay.
out for you. Yes, no problem.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. So yeah, right. So what we understand by finance is correctly said, you deal with large amount of money. Okay. The basic understanding of what is finance is dealing with large amount of money. Finance is all about dealing with money. Okay. And we look at accounting, it goes hand in hand. Accounting is where you are able to read and book all the amount or all the amount of money which comes in or out. How does it come in? How does it go out? Is accounting. Okay. So both of these things go hand in hand, but at, deep down, they are two different things which are to be learned at a professional level. So, I'm happy to know that at least we are on the same page towards beginning of this session. Now, to just cover once again, as Cheryl ma'am rightly said, we'll be covering one of the well-known qualifications of finance and accounting. So these are the 5 qualifications that you see on the screen. That is chartered accountancy, which is Indian based. Okay, then we have actuarial science, we have ACCA, we have CFA, and we have CMA. Okay, so I will be proceeding one by one, taking you guys through each of these qualifications, and there are a lot of things that comes along with it. I will be explaining it to you in detail about each of the courses. Okay, but to begin with, I would like to understand if students, y'all have heard about these qualifications. Like, if y'all can write it in the chat box, it will be very helpful for me to know. Anyone who knows about anything about any of the courses, y'all can just write the name of the course, and we'll just take a majority of, majority people know about which course.
So we have a response. We have a response, ma'am, and there is Manish Chauhan, sir, says CA, that's Chartered Accountancy. So they have
Okay.
heard of Chartered Accountancy.
Okay.
CS.
Any other responses now?
CS. And
Okay.
yes, they've heard of CS as well, ma'am.
CA and CS are the qualifications that they've heard of.
Yes,
Okay,
and MBA. MBA. Harit Setya, our student, says MBA. Masters in
MBA.
Business
Okay.
Administration. Yes.
Right, right. Okay, so what I'll do is now I'll take you guys forward by considering each of the qualifications one by one. Okay. Okay, so first we look at chartered accountancy, that is CA. Okay, now this is one of the most well recognized accountancy qualification which is based in India. Okay, so these qualifications are designed by certain bodies that regulate the rules and regulations of this qualification. Now, these professional qualifications are different from our literal education system that we have from universities. Okay, like how we have grade 1 to 12th and then we go to college. Okay, that those are proper higher education and degree that we pursue in our college, till our college. Okay, these professional qualifications are separately pursued by individuals to upskill themselves and also to be corporate ready. So once you are out of your 10th, or once you clear your 12th, you will have to take a decision as to which field you want to opt in for and how do you want to professionally qualify yourself to get these knowledge, because these qualifications help you specialize in that particular domain. Okay, so when we look at chartered accountancy, the body's name is ICAI body, okay, which is in India, and the rules and regulations are regulated by them. So to help you students understand, just to give you a basic understanding, it's like a university that regulates that course, okay. And chartered accountancy, so we have commonly, must have heard, we have a lot of family, friends, and people in our cousins or someone who pursues CA. So we are still very well aware. We've all heard about CAs because it's an Indian qualification, and we have a lot of people who already are doing it. So to help you guys understand the little facts of the course, okay, CA is a course which can be pursued once you complete your 12th grade. So there is an eligibility to enter this course, and that is you can do it after you complete your 12th grade. Okay. And there's also an eligibility that after your 12th grade, you have to score 65 plus to be qualified to enter for CA. Okay. Now, in this professional qualification of chartered accountancy, there are 3 levels. If you can read the left-hand side of the PPT, I'm there. I'm covering the 3 levels that are there. Okay. And the first level is the basics, which will give you the basic understanding of more of accounts and less of finance. Okay. This is an account-centered course. So this covers more of accountancy. And level 1, which will give you the basics. Then there's the second level, which will help you understand multiple domains of accounts and finance. Okay. And then there's the final level, which helps you specialize. So to complete the chartered accountancy qualification, the time period that an individual takes, okay, is about 6 to 7 years. So when you're pursuing chartered accountancy, you give level by level exams. You clear 1 level, then you go to the 2nd and the 3rd, okay? And the approximate time to complete it is 6 to 7 years. Now,
I'm sorry to interrupt, Marine ma'am.
Yeah.
The participants are not able to see your screen, the PPT
Okay, they're not able to see it.
No, ma'am, right.
Oh, okay.
There's one student who can see. Okay, maybe the participants were not able to see. Maybe they can disconnect and reconnect. Few are able to see, ma'am.
Okay, few are able to see.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I'm getting a response, ma'am.
Okay, should I wait for a minute for the people to rejoin?
Ma'am, your screen is on, right?
Yeah. What is it that you can see currently?
They're saying that the PPT is small, like.
Ms. Marine, I suggest you stop presenting and
try it again. Yes.
Again. So I think then everybody should be able to see it.
Is it better now? Like, can students see it? I have restarted it. Cheryl, ma'am, is it?
No, ma'am. Few students are saying no, and few participants are able to see.
So, is there any other way where I can share the PPT with someone? Is that an option, ma'am?
Yes. Amit sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you just share it on mail, ma'am, to sir?
Yeah, my email ID is mehrin@zelleducation.com.
Ma'am, I sent you an email. You can reply to that and share the PPT with me.
I will do that, yeah. Mhm.
Ma'am, you can stop sharing the screen and then sir will present the screen as soon as he receives your mail.
Yeah, I've just stopped sharing the screen.
Yeah,
Is it?
yeah.
Yeah. Sir, did you receive my, I've just shared it
Amit
with you,
sir?
the PPT.
Not yet. Just a second.
Yeah.
Ma'am, you can just tell the slide number to sir. So we'll just begin sharing from that
Yeah.
slide.
It's the third slide. So did you receive it?
Amit sir?
Yes, ma'am. Not yet received.
Okay, 1 second. I'll just do it once again.
I would suggest either you retry or you can refer to your slides and you speak. Children can simply listen to you.
Yes, ma'am. Maybe you can continue with the explaining
Yeah,
the slides, and we as soon as sir receives it, sir will present.
sure. We'll do that. So students, really sorry for the technical problem. We'll resume back. So what we were discussing about was the chartered accountancy course, right? And the last thing I said that there were 3 levels in it. So yeah, so the first level which covers the basics, the second which helps you understand about the multiple domains that are there in accounts and finance, and the third which helps you specialize. And overall, it takes 6 to 7 years to complete this course, okay? Because as I said, there are bodies which regulate these professional qualifications, right? And the Chartered Accountancy body is the ICAI body, and they have this 3 years of compulsory articleship which students need to pursue while they are doing the CA course, okay? So once students complete their first level, they prepare for the second level, and after completing the second level, before they move to the final level, in between, they need to have a 3 years of compulsory articleship where they have to get work experience of 3 years under a chartered accountant. Okay, so they have to work with the CA. So that is the work experience which is required here. And of course, once you complete the articleship, you move to your final group. And once you clear that, you you can go to the Indian firms and start working with them. Being a chartered accountant, you can also the option of having your own chartered accountancy firm. So I have a lot of students who have started pursuing C out of their 12th, okay, and they continued their degree college along. Of course, they did their bachelor's, and once they were done, along with the chartered accountancy, they didn't want to work, anywhere in any other company. So they took the basic articleship experience, and of course, they plan to have their own firm. So they started their own chartered accountancy firm. So after pursuing this qualification, you have multiple options. Okay, you can either get into a big firm where you can work with them, or you can also plan of pursuing other qualifications, which I will be coming to next, or you can also start your own business. where overall the estimated salary package that a chartered accountant gets after completing all the 3 levels is between 6 to 8 lakhs. Okay, and the overall cost to do this course, which is for approximately 6 to 7 years, where 3 years are for your articleship, the other 3 years are for your preparation of the papers. The cost involved in this course is between 2 lakhs to 2.5 lakhs. So these are the companies that, so if you can see the screen now, I have mentioned few of the companies in the other half of the slide, where if any of y'all can know about it, or in case y'all don't know, y'all can even Google about it. These are the companies that hire chartered accountants in huge numbers. Okay, and the recognition of pursuing this course, okay, is very well known in India. The passing rate, basically, if 100 students are writing the exam, out of which how many do actually clear this qualification, is around 7 to 8%. So that is, that is the level of, I wouldn't say difficulty, but the challenges that this professional qualification holds. So you need complete dedication and, focus to pursue these professional qualifications. But if you have the right dedication and you have the interest, then I think you can opt for it. It's one of the well-recognized qualifications in India. So this is for students who think accounts is, their interest area. You guys can opt for this course. So any questions that are there from your end, students? You all can write it in the chat box. Anything which comes to your mind specifically about chartered accountancy? Okay, I see few of them answering no. So no issues. We'll move ahead with other courses. In case anything comes up, you guys can let me know. So now this is actually really nice. I can see the page also. I can see students also answering. So that's great. So I think we have Amit sir who has asked a question here as to why these companies hire CAs in huge numbers. So to answer this question, basically every company has to have the books of accounts and finance, and plus being a CA firm, they also handle accounts and finances a lot of other companies. Just working on both accounting. That is why when these CAs hired in the Indian, because they have to sign a balance sheet. So to help you guys understand, every brand, every company that we know about, being a small one or a big one, okay, they have to maintain the books of accountancy. They need to know how much money is coming in the business, what are the expenses, what are their assets, what are the things that they are using in their firm. Okay, so all of that has to be recorded. Even if a small shop, if there's a small shop outside your lane, even he will have to maintain the books of accounts. That is, how much money is he making in a month, how much expenses, where is he getting things from, all of that. Every general thing where money is coming in or out of the business. So that is when CAs come in the picture, where they actually keep a tab on all the expenses, on all the profits and loss, and where their business is going. So Manish is asking us if CA has to manage tax matters of the companies. Manish, yes, there is a domain in accountancy which is called taxation, okay? And a lot of CAs also are interested towards getting into taxation departments. So not a small shop in outside the lane, but now we are looking at a bigger picture where there are big companies, okay? So when there are big companies, they do have an entire department which works on taxation. So yes, CAs can manage taxation as well. So in accountancy itself, there are multiple domains. Okay, so just to give you a technical idea, there's taxation, there's audit, there's financial reporting, there's consultancy, there's financial management. So people are spread across into these domains, and that's how it has, the industry has so many vacancies for them. So sir, if we can move to the next slide. Thank you. So now we come to actuarial science. Okay, actuarial science is all about statistics. Somebody who's interested in maths, love maths, can go for this qualification. Okay, and again, for this qualification, the eligibility is that you have to complete your 12th. Okay, here there is a more precise eligibility where you have to score 85 plus in your maths. Only then you will be eligible to write your actuaries papers. Now here, like CA, there are no levels, there are papers. Okay, and there are 15 papers that students have to write to become an actuary. But believe me, actuaries are one of the highest paid professionals in the world. Okay, it's overall recognized in the entire world. There are multiple countries who hire them because it's all about calculating risk. Okay, so to help you guys understand what actuaries do, just a small example here. Let's suppose I am person A and there's someone called as B. Both of us need to get life insurance. Okay, so we go to a life insurance company and we say that I want to get an insurance done for myself. Now, they would start calculating the risk that is behind my life. Okay, of course, just to give you a gist, life insurance is when where I pay a certain premium amount every year just to secure my life. So if I'm the financial supporter of my family, okay, and tomorrow if anything happens to me, how do I make sure that their future is secure? So that's when I go to a company where I tell them I'll be paying you a premium amount every year, but I want to be secured that tomorrow if anything happens to me, my family is financially secured. So I suppose take a package where in case anything happens to me, my company gets 10 lakh, my family gets 10 lakh rupees. Okay, and for that I have to pay a certain amount of premium. And same thing, the person B goes with the same concern and buys a life insurance policy with the company again. Now, if I hope you guys are aware about this, that there are certain conditions that are applied to it. Okay, there are certain things that are managed, that are calculated, and then a company agrees to secure my life. Okay, and a lot of factors are taken into consideration. First thing, my age. Second, if I am a medical patient, if I have any medical problem. Third, the environment I live in, the locality I live in. Is there anything which can affect my life in a way where my life expectancy can be reduced, right? And same thing for the person B. So suppose I am in my 30s and I get a life insurance, and suppose the person B is in his 50s and he wants a life insurance. So for him, he will get more medical tests done. For me, at my 30s, the chances of me getting any sort of disease or any sort of illness is less, but for him it's higher. So who works behind the picture, who will be calculating the risks for a company and then giving them a budget that, okay, person A is this healthy and the chances of this person going away is this much, and that's when this is the policy and the premium that he or she will have to pay. So this was just a basic example to help you guys understand where actuaries work. Actuaries work at the back end, but they are one of the most and the highest paid professionals, okay, because they calculate risks. So this was just a basic example in life insurance. Risk, on the other hand, is on multiple things. So another example to help you guys understand is, if you guys have heard about stock markets, right? When we invest into the market, there are risks that we take. So even the companies, the brands take the risk, and even as an individual, I take a risk. But actuaries work for brands where they calculate risk for them, which is in huge numbers. Believe me, it's like in millions and billions of rupees. So that's how important a job is of an actuary. And they are rising across the world, because as the market is growing, as we know that risk in the market is growing, actuaries are also growing as a professional. But a fact that I've mentioned on the right hand side, if you can see, in India, there are less than 600 qualified actuaries. Believe me, it comes as it's an incredible thing to know that in India there are only less than 600 actuaries that are actually there. So coming back to actuaries cost structure, There are 15 papers, okay? And these papers have to be written one by one. So it's like studying each subject at a time, okay? And it takes around 6 to 8 years of duration minimum to complete these papers. Now, believe me when I say it is not easy. I had a friend who was doing actuaries with me when we were in college, okay? But I can say it's not sad, but it just has that difficulty level because the kind of job you do is, of course, well known, well paid, and well recognized. But along with it comes the difficulty where she still hasn't cleared all her 15 papers. She has approximately completed, to last when I spoke to her, she completed 7 to 8 papers. Okay. But the catch here is actuaries get paid depending upon how many papers they clear. Okay. So there is a different market which hires actuaries at different level of the papers they clear. My friend who's currently completed 7 to 8 papers, okay, she's already working in a company and she's getting paid around 8 lakhs per year. That is her current salary package. Okay, so actuaries are recognized and the papers are difficult to be cracked. Okay, it's not easy. She has also sometimes repeated few of her papers to clear it, but somewhere she's reached 7 to 8 papers by now. But she's getting paid around 8 lakhs per annum. And of course, it will increase with her experience and with the number of papers as she keeps clearing. Okay. Now, looking at the cost for actuaries, to become an actuary, the cost involved in the entire course of 6 to 8 years is somewhere around 4 to 5 lakh rupees. Okay. And the recognition in the market for actuaries is already mentioned. They're the most highest paid and well-recognized individuals, professionals. So, there is difficulty, but then there is again the recognition and the appreciation that is there. So any questions regarding actuarial science that you guys have? Okay, so we'll move ahead. So if please you can move to the next slide. Okay, so now we look at ACCA, that is also, sorry. Okay, I thought someone was trying to say something, no problem. So now we move to ACCA, that is Association of Chartered Certified Accountants. Now, ACCA is a global accountancy course, okay? A lot of things are similar to what we've seen in our first course, that was CA, okay? CAs are Indian-based, it's an India-based qualification, whereas ACCAs are recognized globally, okay? So ACCAs are recognized in multiple countries, overall the world. We have UK, we have Singapore, Australia, Canada. So I've already put the flags in the countries that they're highly recognized, okay? And the structure is also somewhat similar to chartered accountancy. So the eligibility is that you can do it post your 12th grade. That is, again, you have to, complete your 12th and start with your ACCA. Now, in ACCA, there are 13 papers, okay, which are divided into 3 levels, similar to chartered accountancy. First level has 4 papers, which covers the basics of accounts and finance. Second level has 5 papers, which will give you an idea of the multiple domains as already mentioned, right? Audit, taxation, financial reporting, financial management, costing, those subjects are covered. And then professional level where you specialize. Okay. Now, to complete ACCA, it comparatively takes less time than chartered accountancy. It takes 3 years of time to finish ACCA. And ACCA is a UK-based qualification. The body name who regulates ACCA is ACCA. Okay, and the expected salary that a candidate can draw after completing ACCA is again between 6 to 8 lakhs. And the cost which is involved to complete the ACCA qualification is between 3 to 3.5 lakhs in the course of 3 years. Okay. Now, to help you guys understand why do we need ACCAs when we already have CAs? Okay, so as I mentioned, that CAs are based in India. Okay, internationally they don't have CAs, they have ACCAs. But now in India also, the scope for ACCA has increased. So 10 years back, okay, nobody knew about ACCA, and in India people wouldn't pursue ACCA. Only a limited number of students did ACCA in India, and that was also to move abroad in countries like UK, Singapore, Australia, Canada, Ireland, New Zealand, anywhere. Okay. But now people have started pursuing ACCA and they are working in India. So where they're working in India, because Indian firms, okay, will take CAs because they need somebody to sign the balance sheet. So ACCAs are recognized in multinational companies, okay, and they are hired in huge numbers because, to help you guys understand, okay, the accounting standards of every country is different. Now, what are the accounting standards? Okay, there is, so everybody, as I mentioned, okay, every business needs to keep a book, okay, the accounting book. And how do you, how can you say that a building, okay, a building for a business is an asset, is a thing which they can use as an asset. Okay, so how do you say that? How do you write it in a book? And how do someone like me or you, when you read the book, you can say the same thing? That is because there is a body which makes regulations, right? And that's how those are called the accounting standards. And but in India it's different, and internationally it's different. There are certain differences in the accounting standards of the countries, and due to which there are two bodies to even sign the balance sheet in the field of accounts and also recognize separately. So Indians have CAs and ACCAs are globally recognized, but now in India there is a need for ACCAs because the multinational companies have international clients, okay, and to deal with them, to work on their accounts, to prepare their books, they need somebody with an international qualification, and that is when ACCAs come in picture. So over the last 10 years, what we've seen is ACCA has proven to be one of the fastest and the growing qualification in the field of accounts and finance. Okay, because CA is limited to India, a lot of people have now plans of moving outside. So they're in India pursuing certain qualifications, and in future when they have plans of moving outside India, they will need to do some other qualification to upgrade themselves. But now people are choosing to do ACCA, which can help them in India also and even across the globe. So in case in future you have any opportunity of moving out of India, ACCA will help you get out, and you don't need any additional qualification. So if you look at the right hand side, it is global CA. Okay, it's equivalent to CA. You can work in the same designation that a chartered accountant can work. Okay, completing paper by paper, so it's much easier to finish it in 3 years. Okay, and in ACCA the exams are every 3 months. So that is very flexible for students to write it. Whereas in CA, the exams are in every 6 months. So in case you miss a examination, you wait for another 6 months to write the exam. Here you have it in every 3 months. So you get more chances to appear for the paper. And there are some domains mentioned where you can work in, which are similar to chartered accountants. And of course, I've mentioned few of the companies who hire ACCAs, but there's a lot more than this where ACCAs are recognized and hired now. So any questions regarding ACCA? Okay, no issues. We'll move to the next qualification. Sir, if we can please change the slide.
Amit sir, next slide. Amit sir.
Okay. Now we're looking at Chartered Financial Analysis. Now this is called a CFA, and CFA is core into finance. Okay, so ACCA, CA, both of them are accountancy. Actuaries was based on statistics and maths. Now we come to core finance. Okay. Now, CFA is one of the well-recognized qualification in the finance domain. I mentioned the finance, and as I said, there is people tend to get confused in finance, so it's very important to understand that these are two different domains, and there are two different proper qualifications which can be pursued. Okay, so people who are interested corely about money, how to deal with money, they want to study money, derivative, quantitative. Okay, all of these are the technical words which helps you understand finance. Now, so there is the eligibility for this qualification, and you need to be in the third year of your degree college. Okay, and again, there are 3 levels in this course which are consistent. So 3 levels consist of 10 subjects. Okay, and these 10 subjects are same throughout all the 3 levels. The difference in these 3 levels is the weightage of the subjects. Okay, again, it takes 3 years of time span to complete this course, and the approximate salary that a CFA draws after completing all the 3 levels is somewhere between 6 to 8 lakhs a year. And the cost involved to do this course is around 3 lakhs. Now, if you look at the right-hand side, CFAs also can be completed level by level. So as there are 3 levels, student needs to complete the first one, then move to the second and the third. Again, same as actuaries, CFA also has a market where people hire CFAs at different levels. Okay, so if you've completed your level 1, it's not like till you complete level 3, there's no recognition. You can get a job in the industry. And this is the same thing with all the professional qualifications students. So in case you're doing any professional qualification, till whatever I've spoken up till now, CA, ACCA, actuaries, and CFA, all these 4 qualifications have weightage based on their levels that you clear or papers that you clear. Okay, and while pursuing these qualifications, you can work along with it. So you can start gaining your work experience. And earlier somebody spoke about MBA, right? So MBA is again, it comes along with the higher studies that we do. After college degree comes MBA. But if you do MBA along with CFA, it is the most powerful combination. Okay, to get into the industry, into the corporate world. Now we know how important it is to get, qualifications on your resume. How much ever you do, the competition out there is so high that, you need to stand out of the crowd. And how do you do that? You do that by upskilling yourself, by getting more and more professional qualifications on your resume, which gives you more of practical knowledge. So all these qualifications that we spoke about up till now, okay, they are all going to give you the practical exposure which is required in the industry. So the answers that you'll be writing, okay, or the sums that you will be solving, it is going to be based on real life experiences. It's going to be based on case study. So to give you guys an example of what a CFA does, okay, CFAs, I will come to that question, Seher. So CFAs work as, so there are multiple domains that you can work in after completing CFA. Okay, as accounts also has the domains, finance also has the domains. Domains are investment banking, hedge funds. You can become a portfolio manager. You can become an equity research. Now I understand that these are some technical terms which are difficult to understand. So to help you guys understand in a very basic form what a portfolio manager does. Okay, suppose as an individual, I have 10,000 rupees in my savings today. Okay, and of course now if I am making savings, I would want it to grow, right? Why will I just let the money be in my bank and stay there until I spend it? So I would want to invest somewhere, right? Investment is basically where, how the money, the amount that you have, how do you increase that amount by taking certain risks? Okay, so that's when a portfolio manager comes into a picture. I will go to him, Okay, and I'll be like, I have a 10,000 rupee in my bank account and I would like to invest this money in the market. So a portfolio manager would help me with multiple companies that are out there, and he will suggest me the best ones to invest my share in. And that's when I will invest this 10,000 into multiple companies and try to gain profits over it. So this is what a portfolio manager does, but on a very larger level. The example which I gave you was basic to help you understand from one to one, but portfolio managers play big deals with big numbers with big brands. So they would actually handle funds of brands like, I can say Amazon or brands like Flipkart, Netflix, right? These brands have huge amount of database, they have huge amount of customers, and they play in millions and billions. So portfolio managers work from basic one-to-one level till the big brands numbers. So they play in big numbers, and what they earn is the percent of the profits that their customer gets. So that is about a portfolio manager. Just to help you guys understand another professional profession that a CFA has is investment banking. One of the most reputed jobs that are there, very fancy. Okay, so what does an investment banker do? So I hope all of y'all just recently must have heard that Zomato took over Uber, right? Uber Eats. So how did that happen? Of course, the owner of Zomato wouldn't have gone to the owner of Uber Eats saying that, let's merge together, right? And what are the take and give in this deal? So that is a job of an investment banker. Okay, what they do is they work with head board of directors of big brands. Okay, where they are making future perceptions of which brand they want to acquire or which company they want to merge with, and they send these investment bankers to make a deal. And that's when, so when Zomato made an offer to Uber Eats, of course, there were a lot of things that were there, right? A lot of negotiations were done, a lot of transactions had to be done, a lot of give and take. So how do they come on the common ground? Who gets them to sit together and decide? That is the job of an investment banker, okay, which is related to finance. So I see there were some questions. So Seher is asking us, ma'am, do we need to complete CA before doing CFA? Seher, and for anybody else who has this doubt, all these professional qualifications are individually recognized. Okay, it's not related to anything. So if you want to do CA, you can individually pursue CA after the 12th grade. If you want to do CFA, the eligibilities you have to do it after your TY. So what a lot of students do is, by the time they're out of their school, okay, they take decisions as to where they want to go in or which domain they, think interests them. So accordingly, they take a decision. Now, once they're in their 11th and 12th, they start thinking about their degree colleges. Okay, parents also want to plan. So this is the time where you can take a decision. You can do your research. Okay, of course, I'll be there to help you in case you need any assistance from my end. And depending upon where your interest lies or where you want to see yourself in future, you can take a decision and choose any of the qualifications. There is no need to, complete CA and then do CFA. You can individually do CFA even after your degree college. But a lot of students, as I was saying, they plan to do things which they can do in their degree college after their 12th. So now somebody can do ACCA. It's a 3-year course, right? So once they're in their college in 11th, they start thinking, okay, I want to get into the domain of accounts and finance. That interests me. So I'm going to do this. And along with the degree college, while they're doing their BCom or BAF or any other qualification, they start doing ACCA. Okay. Once they are a graduate, they have a dual qualification where they become an ACCA also. Now they are also eligible to do CFA. So after pursuing ACCA, if they feel and if their parents say that, sorry, that you want to pursue another qualification, then you can also opt in for CFA. Okay, so now we have.
Ma'am, there's one more question in the chat box. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm just reading the chat box.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So we have Aman here who's asking us if ACCA and MBA can be done together. So Aman, yes, that is right. you can also look up to doing ACCA along with MBA. So ACCA is a qualification which is very flexible and it helps you, like it doesn't restrict you to anything. So ACCA is in accounts and finance. Okay. Along with it, अगर आपको MBA in finance करना है, you can opt for it. That is also a powerful combination.
There's one more question from Rakshit, ma'am.
Yes,
Rakshit is asking, can we do BAF and then MBA? So is that a possible combination?
Yes, Rakshit, definitely. BAF is a qualification which is in accounts and finance again, but it's a degree that we do it in your college, okay, which is designed by universities. So yes, you can pursue BAF, and after BAF, you can plan for MBA. MBA in finance is a good option if you have to opt for. Any other questions? Okay. Anything else? Okay. So we will move ahead to our another qualification and the last qualification of today. That is CMA. Now that is Certified Management Accountant. Okay, designed by ICWAI body, and this is a US-based qualification. Okay, so CMAs are also globally recognized. But again, to help you guys understand from the basics, CMAs have a different job profile altogether. Okay. So before I start with the actual, so sorry. Before I start with the actual, facts about the course, I will just again give you guys a small example of what a CMA does. Okay. Just a basic one. So CMAs are experts in financial planning, analyzing, and projecting the budgeting for a company. Okay. So imagine I am an entrepreneur and I want to start my own workshop. Okay. Now I want a clothing brand for which I need a workshop. Now, from the time to plan the place, to project the expenses, to see the place and finalize the entire project of how am I going to get my own warehouse is work of a cost accountant. So CMAs are called as cost accountants. So the cost accountant would do that job for me. He or she will help me find a place which is the best suitable in my budget, will help me find and figure out the expenses for my looking at, and all the other factors. So this is like a basic example. Now let's look at a big brand. A company like Amazon wants to set up an entire franchise in a particular area. Okay, imagine the sort of investments and expenses and all the costs that are going to be incurred. Plus, they have to be a lot of, so brands would when they want to settle in a place. Okay, it's going to be a long-term projection. It's not like they're going to do something for a year and leave. So there are a lot of factors which are to be considered before they actually put their money in there, right? Otherwise, it's a complete waste. So cost accountants are also a crucial and a very important part for a company, where the cost accountant would build a dummy for them, will build an entire projection of what investment a brand wants to make, and they would help them get the best suitable deal, I can say, or the best suitable project which can be acquired at minimal cost and with best of the advantages. Okay, so that is the job of a cost accountant. So now to come back, the eligibility again to pursue this course is you have to clear your 12th. Okay. Now this is comparatively a short-term course. Like the courses that we've been speaking about since a while, all of those were long-term. So you need minimum 3 years of dedication to pursue these courses. Cost accountant, on the other hand, is 6 to 12 months. That is the amount of time you need to pursue this qualification. And the average salary package that a cost accountant gets is between 5 to 6 lakhs once they complete the course. Then, of course, once you get experience, you get more exposure, you grow in a company. And overall expense for this course is also limited than any other cost, which is of between 90,000 to 1 lakh rupees. And there are just 2 papers in this which has to be written. 2 papers basically divided into 2 levels, okay, and can be written in a 6-month gap. So if one paper you write today, the other paper can be written within the time period of 6 months. And cost accountants, I've put the flags for the countries. They are recognized in these countries. And the other companies that hire them, I've already mentioned it for you guys. So any questions regarding CMA that you guys have?
Requesting the participants, if you have any questions, please unmute yourself and speak, or you can type it in the chat box. Okay, so ma'am, I believe there are no more questions so far in either in the chat box or students. Do you
No
have
problem,
any questions?
No problem.
Okay, so
guys, if there's anything, which comes to your mind, sorry, ma'am, to interrupt.
no,
If
no.
there's anything that comes to your mind, even after the session gets done, you feel that there's anything which is coming to your mind, you can, get in touch with Cheryl, ma'am, and she can help me with the questions, and I can help you guys with whatever doubts you all have.
Sure. Ma'am, if you can just type your email ID in the chat box, so that will go to all the participants, and if they have any questions, they will come back to you, ma'am. Okay, so we come to the end of the session. My humble gratitude and thanks to Ms. Marine Vora for conducting such a a knowledgeable session. And to our dear students, I would like to thank Principal Ma'am and Vice Principal Ma'am and all our dear students and staff for attending this session. Ma'am, again, special gratitude and thanks on behalf of Principal Ma'am. Ma'am had to catch another meeting, so she just asked me to convey the gratitude to you, ma'am. Thank you so much for spending your valuable time with us.
Yeah, ma'am, I just read her message. Thank you so much for all the students to attending this session so patiently. It was a great time talking to you guys. Thank you so much, Cheryl, ma'am, for helping me throughout
Thank
the
you,
session.
ma'am. No problem.
And Amit, to help me with the technical issues. It was great time, talking to you guys. So there's one more thing, just to, I understand that you guys are from 7th grade till 10th. For all to, like there's still more to you guys now till you take a decision as to which professional qualification you want to do. So just to understand from you guys, do you think that if there is a qualification or there is a course, there is an additional thing that you can learn regarding finance, which could be for, you guys, high school students, how many of y'all do you think will be interested to do something like that, Students, if you can just write a yes in the chat for whoever, would be interested to understand the, crux of finances from now, if you have to take a call for future. How many of y'all would be interested to learn something? Not, of course, something which is a 1 year or a 2 year commitment, something which is a 1 month course or a 3 month thing, which can just help you, understand. Because I know there's still time for y'all to go out in the world and, take a decision as to which professional qualification to do.
We have around 5 students. Yes, ma'am.
Right.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
So that is really nice to see that, but I think this is the great opportunity, like even for schools, it makes me really happy to know that, now students have so much exposure to so much information, right? They can just, schools are arranging sessions where, y'all can speak to us and we can get in touch with y'all. I think this is really nice gesture. Thank you so much, guys. It was amazing and it was very nice talking to y'all.
So any more questions, participants? I think we are done, ma'am. So thank you once again, Marine ma'am. It was nice listening to you. And you have shared a lot of insights and your expertise. I'm sure the students have gained a lot from this session. Thank you so much and have a great evening, ma'am.